Hey guys, Caleb with Black Pearl Media here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And you read that right in the title that I just bought 400 pounds of watches for the Dollar to Datsun challenge. All right guys, so if you're new here, my name's Caleb. I'm taking $1, reinvesting it until I can afford my dream car, the Datsun 240Z. And we're doing stuff like buying stuff on Marketplace, going to tag sales, abandoned storage units, and renting RVs, a whole plethora of stuff. But this deal I just did on Facebook Marketplace is like one I've never done before. Let me show you. And here they are, 400 plus pounds of watches, and this isn't even all of them. We also have 2 large boxes of watches here. I can't even lift this up with one arm. Another box of watches here, 2 smaller boxes of watches here, and a bunch of watches we already sold in a sample whatnot show that I'll talk about here in just a minute. But let's talk about how the deal went down. And one of the watches is going off right now. Be quiet. Skechers watch, not bad. All right, so for those of you who don't know, I'm also really into watches, and in this past year, going through this experiment, this challenge of the dollar to the Datsun, I have found some watches in some storage units, and I've experimented with reselling watches and building my own collection, and that's going very well for me. It's a lot of fun. I tend to make some pretty good money with it, and I've always seen these creators on Whatnot that do watch shows. And there's 2 types of shows. There's guys who have like really nice watches. They're asking fixed prices. They go live every once in a while, try and get some deals done. And when they do, they have a good time. They build a community. Totally great. My favorite shows to join are low dollar watches, like big lots like this where people run watches quickly and there's potential for them to run into something special. And you can get a great deal, but because they're running bulk numbers, they don't have any particular attachment to these watches. So they're just running them $2 a piece, and they run up to maybe $5. But then you might get one that runs up to like $150 or something. And it's just an exciting time. The chat rooms are really, really fun. The community seems to be having the best time of them all. And I always wanted to be on the other side of that. I wanted to get some bulk in my life, and I didn't really know where to source it or to find it or how to do it. Fast forward to me going on Marketplace, where some of the best stories of my life tend to start. And I see there was a guy selling a big box of watches for 150 bucks. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, look, would you do 100 bucks? I could come out tonight. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Come get them off my hands. I went ahead and purchased those watches and met with the seller, and he's like, yeah, I get a whole bunch. I actually could source more for you if you want. And I said, all right, well, let me give this one a test. And I was able to flip those watches on Whatnot for about 500 bucks. So I would sell individually for a couple of shows, and then I took the rest and put them in boxes, sold the boxes as a lot for like 10, 15 bucks, and it was successful. But I had a bunch of watches in my house, and I was like, this is kind of crazy, But this was a few months ago, and I've been meaning to contact him because he left me his information. I was on Marketplace yet again the other night, and he posted another lot of watches, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I'll reach out to him. So that's what I did. I reached out to him. I said, hey man, I don't know if you remember me. I bought those watches from you a while ago. He's like, yes, definitely. I've got way more watches, by the way. If you want to come over and check them out, by all means. And I said, all right, sounds good. So I show up, and all of these watches are just laid out nicely on 2 large tables, and we're looking through them, and I'm like, how much do you want for all of them, man? And he said he wanted $550, which I wasn't too comfortable with because I didn't know if I was exactly going to get my money's worth out or how much effort that would take, because I was fairly certain that it would work out, but I don't know. A lot of these are like rough condition. Let me show you this. This here is a bin of watches that I've found broken already. Like they've got like no back plates, or they've got a hole in the glass, or they're missing the strap, or the straps are all falling apart. So I didn't know how much of this stuff was gonna be resellable and what was gonna be good. Now this is when you might be thinking, it's only, you know, a couple $100. You're getting so many watches for this and you've tried it in the past, you know it works. And that's all well and good, but I have recently been able to get storage units for $10, $20 and get some great stuff out of them. So to deal out $400 for a single deal was a little bit painful for me. Also, if I didn't mention, I got the entire lot for $400, so that's pretty sick. But ultimately I decided, you know what? Scared money don't make no money, so I went ahead and bought the whole lot. And I don't know exactly how many pounds of watches there are, but like, just for example, let's check this one out. This box is half full, so I've got a scale here. Let's put this on the scale and find out. All right, so let's put this on the scale here. All right, this one box alone is 41 pounds. I just leaned on it a little bit at the end there. So there's 40 pounds, there's another 40 pounds, there's 20 pounds, here's 20 pounds, here's another 20 pounds, here's 20 pounds, here's 60 pounds, here's 20 pounds, here's 60 pounds, here's 20 pounds, here's 20 pounds, there's 60 pounds. I don't know. Do the math. I think it's more than 400 pounds. But here's the exciting news. I already did a test batch and I went ahead and sold 140 watches. All of these guys here started at $2 a piece, and some of them went for a lot more than $2 a piece. Like this went for $2, but this one, for instance, over here, this one here went for $15. It got bid up from $2 to $15, and that's really exciting, especially how big that is. That is a huge watch. So we were able to pull out some really interesting watches in here. This one's one of my favorites so far. It's got a bunch of frogs on it, and the eyes are like googly eyes. They move around. And the exciting part is that we made $361 in sales. Now, I do have to package these up. That will calculate all the fees, but I think we're roughly gonna be around the $280 mark. So we already made most of our money back. We only sold 140 watches, and we have so many more to go. So we'll have inventory for a long time. And we'll hopefully be able to make a ton of money to go towards the Datsun goal. So if you guys want to be involved in this, what I'll do is I will leave a link to my whatnot below. You can go ahead and join. I have a show this coming Saturday at 6:30 p.m. and you can hop on. We'll be running watches all day for $2 to start, and maybe you guys can find something you like. It's all random pulls. I haven't gone through the watches, so it's kind of like a live unboxing together, and you guys have the opportunity to pick out something for yourself or a loved one, and it all helps the goal. So if you guys want to check that out, go to the whatnot link. You can sign up if you haven't already. That gives you $15 to spend. You get a couple of watches with that, which is awesome. So I hope you guys like this video and this update. I certainly do. It's a little bit different, but it's an exciting one, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So I will see you on the next one, and hopefully we'll see you in the whatnot auctions where you guys can pick up some sick watches for Christmas. Thanks so much, guys. See you on the next one.